Oh my lord, it's a Wi-Fi battle! Yay! Yeah, guys, finally got around to being able to narrate a battle, and how's it going? I know I haven't done one of these in like a couple days, but yeah, one thing before I get into talking about the team preview, for those of you who like my 6 Foot Hacks Facebook fan page, you will know that something is up with my laptop. The reason why I'm bringing this up is because I do most of my showdown and LP parts on my laptop, so until I kind of get my laptop completely fixed, I might have to stop the LP and the showdown uploads. So yeah, I do apologize about that, which means less content for y'all guys, but possibly more Wi-Fi battles. But yeah, I don't know. Anyways, I got a pretty good ending battle against Blazeking24 Universe, I believe. His channel link is going to be down in the description, guys, so make sure to go check him out. The only two real threats I saw on his team were going to be the Rotom and the Gardevoir, if Gardevoir turns out to be offensive. But if it's defensive, it shouldn't be too big of an issue. But I'm going to be leading off for my Gardevoir, as he's going to be leading off for the Braviary. And thinking that he could possibly be sub bulk up, I decided to go straight for the Rock Blast. But no, he ends up going straight for the Brave Bird, and judging for that damage, he more than likely is going to be Scarfed. So expecting him to possibly want to switch out or just go for a second Brave Bird, knowing that I could take the hit, I'm actually going to go for a layer of Spikes as he ends up bringing in the Golurk. And here, the Earthquake or the Stealth Rocks is pretty obvious, so I'm going to switch directly into my Tangela because from the looks of his team, this looks to be his Stealth Rocker, so I don't really have to worry about him being Choice Banded unless he's Choice Banded with Stealth Rocks, which I guess I could understand Golurk running just because Golurk does force a lot of switch outs if it's Choice Banded, so that could actually be kind of viable. But no, he does just turn out to be the Stealth Rock set. As I went for the lead seat thinking that he would want to switch out, he actually stays in, either predicting me to over-predict or just thinking I would go straight for the Sleep Powder. And yeah, either way, he gets up his rocks, which honestly aren't really going to bother my team too much. And knowing that he himself would want to switch out, I'm actually going to go for the Stun Spore, and I'm going to be able to catch the incoming Rotom. And here, not wanting to take a Blizzard, I'm going to switch directly into my Hypno, and something in the back of our mind was telling me, he's gonna go for Trick, but I still switched into my Hypno, which, oh my lord, was really stupid because Hypno carries Thunder Wave, and if that Gardevoir is offensive, I could have paralyzed it, then Seismic Toss, wished and protected on it until eventually I took it down, and now I can't do that. So as he Volt Switches out, he goes into his Braviary, and knowing that he more than likely will either go for the U-turn or the Brave Bird, my Garbodor is basically my best switching to this Braviary, so I'm going to switch that in. Above that, I'm actually going to be able to get the Wish, as he does make the good play, knowing that I am going to want to switch out, and he goes for the U-turn, U-turning out into his Gardevoir. Now, not seeing leftovers, I'm like, well, damn, he is going to be offensive, and now I just have to find out if he's Choice Specs or Choice Scarf. So I'm going to switch directly into my Hypno, as he ends up going for the Psychic, which was a safe play just because, I mean, he could have gone for the Shadow Ball, predicting my Hypno, so either way, Hypno was the best switch in, not to mention that I'm crippled. So thinking that he would want to switch out into Golurk, knowing that he is locked into the Psychic, I decided to be a badass and double switch into my Tangela, but he's not choiced! Is expert belted and almost annihilates my poor little Tangela. Thankfully though, I live on 1% and I'm going to be able to get on out of there and get my Regenerator, but unfortunately I lose my Hypno, which means that Rotom, even though yes, it's paralyzed, has just become a major problem, so I have to watch out for that. As I'm going to bring my Leopard, I'm going to go for the Thunder Wave, and I'm not going to lie, I was kind of hoping that he would get paralyzed, but even if he doesn't get paralyzed, I can just bring in my Golurk or bring in my Samura and take it out, hopefully. As he goes for the Signal Beam, I'm actually going to go for the Encore, knowing that he wouldn't want to possibly risk me setting up a Swords Dance if I was that set on his switch out, so he does stay and go for the Signal Beam. And judging from the damage, I'm thinking that maybe my Substitute will be able to take a hit, so I'll go for the sub. Above that, he does have a chance to get paralyzed, so in the end, going for Substitute, go for the dust. Wow, I don't know English. Going for the Substitute was not the worst play to do in that situation. As a fallen turn, knowing that I can take an Ice Beam, take a Signal Beam, I'm going to go for the Surf, as he does end up getting paralyzed, and then I'm going to be able to finish him off with a secondary Surf, which is really good because at that point, Gardevoir was really low, so I guess he didn't have much use for it, so I guess it wasn't too big of a deal that he left it in for fodder. As he brings in this giant-ass threat, I don't want to take a Brave Bird, so I'm going to switch directly into my Garbodor, and thanks to that Wish, I'm actually going to be able to get enough HP to the point where I will be able to take 2 Brave Birds. Above that, I'm going to be able to possibly get up another layer of Spikes, which is going to be really good, because I know from the Brave Bird recoil, he should take himself out. And even if he had taken out my Garbodor, it wasn't too big of a deal that I got up the second layer, because as you're about to see, he's going to switch directly into the War Turtle. But I can always just switch in Golurk on the Rapid Spin. Then again, he could predict that and go for the Scald, which is what I was actually fearing here. But he does make the good, safe play and actually goes for the rapid spin and doesn't go for the scald. And he's going to get rid of those 2 laser spikes, which is really annoying just because now Sock's 30 is going to be intact, which I need to get on my stealth rock. So I'm just going to stay in, try to get off as much damage as possible with the gunk shot. As I'm able to hit the second one after I missed the first one, I kind of get some makeup hacks and I actually get the 30% poison as he finishes me off with the second toss. And if he had gone for the scald, I was going to switch into my samurai, encore him into the scald, and as long as he didn't burn me, I was going to set up a substitute. So the fact that he went for the second toss was actually a really good play. But now I can just bring in my Golurk and get on my stealth rocks. As he goes for the scald, I know I should be able to take this, but I completely forgot about the fact that War Turtle is more than likely in torrent range, which is why that scald does way too much damage to my Golurk. But thankfully I am faster than War Turtle and I'm going to be able to take him out with the dynamic punch, which means as long as I have my Golurk around, Sock is not going to be able to lock himself into the close combat, which is going to be really good for me. So I definitely have to keep this thing around. As he brings in the Rotom, I'm not too sure why. I mean, he could have switched into the Golurk. Then again, I have Tangela, and if you brought in Sock and went for the Ice Punch, Tangela can take Ice Punches for days. But he also could have double switched down to the Rotom, but there's a possibility he could have got paralyzed on his attack as I switched out or stayed in. So yeah, either way, Rotom is gone. As he brings in the Golurk, the Shadow Punch is kind of obvious, but he actually does end up going for the safe play, which is the Earthquake. Gets a crit on my Tangela, but Tangela is a monster, and I'm going to go for the Giga Drain. Actually surprised that I didn't take him out. Then again, Golurk does have very good bulk, so it isn't too big of a deal. As he's not going for the Drain Punch or the Shadow Punch, I guess he thinks that they won't do much more damage than the Earthquake is doing, which I guess is understandable, but still he could have got another crit as he brings in his last, which is Sock. Thanks to the fact that I do still have my Golurk, he can't lock himself into the close combat, which means Tangela can take Giga Drains for days, and I'm just going to stay in and keep Giga Draining, and on this third Ice Punch, he actually freezes me. Now, I'm not going to freak out because his freeze actually really doesn't matter because at the amount of HP that my Samurai is at, and I believe he did tell me he was Adamant Scarf, and my Samurai can take an Adamant Scarf Ice Punch and knock him out with the Surf. So in the end, the fact that he froze me really isn't too big of a deal, and that's going to be the 3-0v3 in my favor. So definitely hope you guys did enjoy this battle. If you did, you know what to do. With that, enjoy the rest of your night, enjoy the rest of your day, and I am out of here. Later.